Hey guys, it's JD here with EARTH-5D, back for another video. Welcome to my home. I'm so glad you're here today. We're going to be talking about what it means to be a divine masculine and a divine feminine during this shifting consciousness, during this time of quarantine, where the entire earth has been put into a quarantine situation of one sort or the other, right? So what does this mean for our lives, right? So let's dig right in. So welcome everyone. I'm so glad you're here. If you found me from my tarot channel, EARTH-5D, so happy you're here. I love you guys. I wanted to start with a quick prayer and blessing for you. Thank you, universe, for bringing all these beautiful people here for healing and for insight and for spiritual growth. Help us to really tune in to the guidance that you're wanting to bring through here, light family. Help us to understand what this raising consciousness means for our own life. Many of the people here are healers themselves that have their own practice. Help us to expand. Help us to see where you're leading us. Help us to feel where you're leading us, light family. And we ask this in body, mind, and spirit throughout time, space, and consciousness. It's done, it's done, it's done. Okay, guys, so I'll share a little story with you. You all are in quarantine probably still, or many of you, or you're kind of dipping back into your life, right? But still there's this kind of overall strange vibe, right? Everyone's kind of looking at each other like, is this person safe, or am I gonna get, the virus? Should I wear a mask or should I not wear a mask? All these kinds of things, right? So the world is still pretty kind of touch and go, right? So what happened in my life was I used to be in corporate marketing. Okay, so I used to be a copywriter and a creative director, and I also did product marketing and things like this for a Fortune 500 company. So I was very corporate, and I did that for like 15 years, and it was wonderful. I was such a teacher of how to operate in the world, to do business, and to be creative, and to really gain confidence, right? So I did that for many years. Almost 20 actually. And then 3 years ago, I did that in a major city, major city. So commuting 2 hours a day, etc. So basically I made a big life choice, and I moved here to Florida, where I live at the beach. I live what they call beachside. And so you cross a bridge and I'm on a barrier island. And we're kind of like a very small community here of people who are living a bit off the grid. A lot of people are retired, etc. I'm just explaining the scenario because 3.5 years ago when I moved here, I kind of put myself into a quarantining situation, at least energetically. So energetically, I was like, okay, I was guided to just really get off the grid. And so I took my family, I have 3 children, and I got off the grid. And so I've kind of been here now for a while, practicing this energy, being in this energy, and believing in this ascension. So if you would have asked me 3.5 years ago why I did this, I probably cognitively couldn't have mentally known, but psychically, emotionally, I knew. And so when I moved here, I still had my corporate job, and I was working as a consultant, and I did that for a number of years. I learned so much about people and power and what it means to be in your power. And I know that my personal life experience, there's something about it that you need, and that's why you're here. There's something about becoming who you are authentically and being in your power that the universe is really calling us to right now. So try to breathe in that information. What does that mean for you? So taking power over your life, okay? So if you're on this channel, know that you are a light worker. Know that you are divine masculine or feminine. Know that you have a person that you're being kind of guided towards that is also a divine masculine or feminine. And you guys are in the background, learning to understand what that means. Here's the deal though. We do get caught up in that we all need love, right? And so we oftentimes, I've noticed, get caught up in that dynamic of how can I have my person, how can I have my person? And that's so important. And that's why I have the channel EARTH-5D to do these readings, to help bring this together, these intimate unions together. And I believe that the reason why we're all in a quarantine around the globe is because our light family and the forces of good on the planet, the forces of light, which we know always wins, light always wins, they are calling us to observe why we're here on earth. They're calling us to take a step back and say, what's my purpose for being here? And it's causing a bit of a schism because some people don't know why, and they're just caught in the fear. And then others know why, and they're trying to figure it out piece by piece. And so, number one, you're a divine masculine or feminine. Number two, you have a purpose for being here. Number three, there's a reason why you're being quarantined that isn't torturous. You know, it's to enlighten you. It's helping you to begin your enlightenment process. Some of you have already begun it. Many years, you know, I got introduced to Christ consciousness when I was 18. And then again, 10 years later, learning this crazy cool practice called spiritual response therapy, where I learned how to work in people's, I guess you'd call it their kind of their karmic situations and help them remove blocks. I learned about how, you know, lives aren't like a timeline. Lives aren't a solid horizontal line, that lifetimes are a circle, and many, many lifetimes come across a circle and not across a horizontal line. So there really is no past lives, and there's no future lives, really. It's all just a circle, like all my life's a circle. There's a song by Harry Chapin that I used to sing when I was like 6 to my dad, or 5 years old to my dad, because he liked folk music and I liked to sing. So it's just funny how a life, everything that you've been going through has been preparing you for right now. So just be aware that you have a purpose, a light purpose, and that you can take comfort and confidence in that light purpose. And everything is on track, okay? Everything's on track right now. So what does it mean to get in your power? So this is what I feel like is starting to happen, is that people need to understand, us light workers need to understand what it means to get in our power. So in corporate America, I got a real huge dose of the collective consciousness and fear, and how people, you know, play games, and they're so ingrained, mostly they're so ingrained in what this company is telling them they need to do all the time. And it becomes part of their persona, and then you become like a little bit of like a corporate junkie or a corporate slave, you could call it. I mean, and it's not horrifying because there's fulfillment that you get, and you know, there's obviously good that we take from it, like confidence and business skills and the things that we need to do to operate around on this planet. But the adverse side of that is some people really get lost in that world, and they connect so heavily to their identity as this, you know, marketing director, or as this head of accounting, or head of IT, or whatever role, you know, people take. And even if you don't have a corporate job, there's something that you do that you identify with. So the call here is to become in the driver's seat of your life. And so during this quiet time, it's like try to have the visualization that there's a car, and the car is your life. And if, let's say that you might have been in the trunk of that car, maybe you were in just the back seat, and some energy has been in the driver's seat, and you're like, wait a minute, I really don't like where this turned up in a global pandemic, and you know, X, Y, and Z, whatever circumstances. Maybe you're with your person, maybe you're not quarantining with your person, or maybe you're with your person and you're really dissatisfied. Like, how could my life be like this? How could I have married this person? How could I be so disempowered in this relationship? How could I be so dissatisfied with this relationship? And so it's okay to ask these questions. It's okay, because this is a time of great change. So take comfort. It's good. There's light forces all around you that you can ask for help. Okay, guys? Ask for help from your light family, because they cannot intercede and just drop in and force things upon you. You must ask for help, because that's why we have our free will. So imagine that when we were born, we really kind of just forgot everything I've just mentioned, and you're just trying to get by, you're trying to survive. But right now is a time where we like get out of the trunk or the back seat of our car, we walk around, and we just sit right in, the universe opens the door, and we just sit in the driver's seat. And we're sitting there like, okay, well, I can't go very far right now because I'm in quarantine, but hey, I can start to imagine and believe for myself where I would like to go in the future. So take this time, and this is also in addition to having this layer in the background of being this divine feminine and being a divine masculine and having this person that you want in your life. So these somehow go hand in hand. And it's a far-reaching thing. So it's difficult to wrap our head around right now. But there's a plan for these divine unions. There's a big old plan. And I believe what I've seen as that plan is to heal the family unit, to begin to heal the disconnection and the disjunction of the modern day family. We're so separate. And it's like every man, woman, or child for themselves, right? Hold on, guys. I hope you can still see. Sorry. It's like every man, woman, or child for themselves. So that has to stop. The other piece of this is that we're not going to be doing it like our parents used to do it. We're not going to be doing it like maybe your parents want you to do it, where you're forced into a commitment or to a marriage because it's economically sound, because you can't provide for yourself, because you have to. I mean, or let's say you like a member of the opposite sex and you feel like you're forced into a heterosexual relationship because you have to do it. Or let's say you're spiritual, very deeply spiritual, and you just want to have a job that's spiritual, but you feel shoved into corporate America or XYZ, what someone else is telling you should be. So it's really important to understand that we're going to rebuild this kind of 5D reality, and it's going to be way different than what you might have experienced, and certainly what your parents experienced. So, or there might be imposing upon you, or whatever society is imposing on you. So to be a divine feminine or masculine means that you are sovereign, that you drive your car, and that you realize that the outer world is a projection, and it's a masterpiece. Like, you could put on the outer world anything you want, anything. And it's just waiting for you to just use your energy to imprint upon it. The challenge is that we've been so distracted in corporates. We've been so distracted in our job. We've been so distracted in pain and adrenaline that, like, we haven't had time to consider what we're creating. And so the universe is giving you a space to create, and a space to learn how to trust life. Do you feel safe? Do you feel loved? Do you feel like you can trust the universe? Okay, because when we get in the driver's seat, we choose what we want, and then the universe helps us to get there. We don't really have the map. We're just shown one step at a time how to get there. And that's why it's so important to be present in the now, and all of Eckhart Tolle's work, and all that is in preparation for this. All that is in preparation to learn how to take the driver's seat. All right, guys, so a lot to take in, but just know that this is the time for you, divine masculine and feminine, to really shift the perspective and understand that you are creating your reality, and that you no longer want to be driving in being driven by some force other than yourself, whether it's society, whether it's the top 1%, whatever you believe is distracting you, whether it's fear, So this is about empowerment, and you are generators of creating reality, and you are like extremely powerful beings. I mean, you're literally generators of reality. And that's why there's forces that would love to have your energy to create their agenda. Like, no, this is my energy. Okay? So some of you will be with your divine person right now, and some of you will be meeting them at different levels. Okay? So when we come into creation, when you have this reality called your personality, you basically agreed to come here with people. I don't like to call it a soul contract, because this isn't obligatory. This is something that you choose. It's not like, oh, I'm obligated to come. too bad I have to spend this lifetime with this person, you know? This is like, no, this is not obligatory. This is because you want to. So the people that you want to spend time with, the people that you choose to spend time with, you know, they're willing to be here. They want to be here. So they'll meet you at any level. They'll meet you at, let's say consciousness runs from a level of 1 to 10. And so, you know, they'll meet you at 1, if that's where you want to believe that you could be. They'll meet you at 7, they'll meet you at 10. So this is what we mean about creating consciousness. Everyone is you pushed out. It's like they are here to show you, they're here to be wherever you want them to be. And if their particular consciousness isn't there yet, they're like, and you don't want to wait a lifetime till they evolve, you'll have the opportunity to meet them in as a different person. Their soul split, like we have an infinite amount of souls that split off. That's a very deep topic we could get into later, but basically we are infinite, and we have infinite expressions of ourselves. So that's what Abraham Hicks means about the vortex. Everything's already created, including many, many versions of you, infinite versions of you. And so it's a lot to wrap the head around, but the biggest goal here is to, at this time during quarantine, is to get in touch with who you are and what you want, and then sit in the driver's seat and then say, okay, light family, I'm ready. Take me to my highest, best life. Take me to this optimal relationship. Take me to this optimal place where I can express myself as a divine masculine and feminine, so I can contribute to this 5D consciousness, so I can be a part of this change. Now, 3 years ago and half years ago when I moved to the beach, if someone would have said, you're gonna have a tarot channel and that's how you're gonna talk with people and communicate and relate to them, that's how you're gonna transfer this energy through, I'd have been like, no effing way. You know, I wouldn't have been open to it. I would have been, that's way too out of the box. First of all, I don't even read tarot. All of my energy work I've always just done without any tools. So it was all a big surprise, and it was a lovely surprise. So you might not know what your surprise is, guys, but it's coming. Okay, it's coming, and just believe in it and just say, okay, yes, I'll take it. Okay? Just try to say yes, and try to keep an open mind. That's also like a lot of the guidance I've been giving to some of my clients that come for spiritual direction is like, or for spiritual guidance sessions, learning to heal others, learning to heal themselves, is also this notion of, hey, like if you have a lot of opinions in your head, there's probably not much room for any other energy. So it's like, remember also to be open to not having an opinion about something. Have your light family show you. All right, guys, so I just leave you with this, and the whole goal here is to help you evolve in consciousness so that you feel peace in your life, that you feel the magic of life, and that you're not feeling so constrained and restricted. No one's in your driver's seat, you're in your own driver's seat, and you're creating this shift in consciousness. Okay, lots of love to you guys, and thank you so much for being here. Thank you for your energy and time. Lots of love. Bye for now.